Hey everyone, my name's Andy, and today I'm going to be doing a quick review on the Nintendo Switch 2 Game Traveler Crossbody Bag. Quite the name. I picked this up today at Target on a whim, and I believe it's a case that's going to be quite popular. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so this Nintendo Switch 2 case I actually picked up at Target for $29.99. I just happened to stumble upon it. Didn't really expect this to be in stock, or I didn't even really know about it. So I researched some reviews, but I didn't find anything. So I really wanted to just make this real quick and hopefully help someone make a decision on whether or not this is for them. First impressions, this is actually a super nice case. I really do enjoy the material that the case is made out of. It's kind of like a duckweave like material, definitely going to keep it protected from any scratches, maybe a little bit even water resistant, but it's not the most, or not the strongest case out there. It definitely is a little bit flimsy if you really put some pressure into it, but I don't plan to be that rough with my Switch. Hopefully you guys aren't either. But a very unique thing about this one is that it's actually not only for the Switch 2. You can use this for the original Switch, the OLED, and even the Switch Lite. It works by having you not pack it with the Joy-Cons attached. So it has different compartments for the Joy-Cons that I thought was pretty interesting and definitely unique, as it gives it a more slim profile. It does add some bulkiness to the front, but I feel like I'd much rather have some bulkiness than so much width. So let's get a bit more logistics out the way, get some measurements in here. So this, I would say, is about 9 inches, give or take a 1/4 inch wide. For its length, I would say this is about 6 inches, give or take a 1/4 inch. And finally, for its depth, I would say that's about 3 inches, with this being able to be squished in if needed. Let's also look at how much it weighs. That might be an important factor for some people, so let's see how much this weighs. Sorry for the jank scale. I use this for my meal prep. There it goes. All right, 0 out. All right, so this is about 11 ounces. Let me not lie, 11.7 ounces. So not the heaviest case out there. Like I said, it's not going to be the most protected case for the Switch 2, but definitely something that seems like has a high capacity. I was originally looking at the Ginky case. It's a wool case and it has very strong resistance to being squished or crushed. But looking at that, not only is it going to be not in stock for a couple of weeks, but there's not really any spots to store anything else. So say you had cables or maybe even the block to charge it, it's not really going to be able to host that. The Belkin was another option for me, but unfortunately that one wasn't in stock. At least the color that I wanted wasn't in stock. The black one was, but ended up going with this on a whim. So let's go ahead and get into it. So like I said, this is a crossbody bag. So this is going to be a nice long strap that's going to go over your shoulder. I don't really plan to wear it as a crossbody, but it's nice that it gives you kind of that option. At first, now it's looking like a purse, but I'm sure it's very adjustable to the length you actually want it to be. Let's make that shorter again. All right, let's see how easily removable this is. Doesn't seem like the easiest thing to be removed, but also not too big of a deal breaker if it's not. Let's go ahead and open this. Now here's the case by itself. Very low profile, doesn't really stand out. I really like that it's a matte black type of emblem. With the light, it looks pretty light gray, but trust me, this thing is a pretty dark matte black emblem, which I really kind of like. It's more discreet, doesn't scream out to people, hey, I'm a Switch, which I really want to avoid. If I ever do take this in public, leave it unattended for a little while. Very nice. So let me read a little bit of the packaging here, if there's anything particular of interest. All right, so it says adjustable shoulder strap, comes with a soft cleaning cloth, game card case for 2 pieces. Each case holds 4 game cards, so 8 in total. Micro SD case for 2 pieces. Each case holds 2 micro SDs, which is pretty nice, and a dust-free protectant. Very nice. Padded in the back, so let's go ahead, open this up. All right, so here is the opening for the main compartment. I believe the actual Switch screen goes in the back, but here's a nice large compartment. Cleaning cloth, official Nintendo, game case holders, micro SD holder, I believe here. Yes, micro SD holder right here. It's pretty nice actually, that they actually include that. I didn't think they would here. Another one for the games. Fairly nice, very nice. Keep it well organized. I would have liked to maybe have seen, you know, for ease of access, maybe some sort of stitching to where you can put the individual games, but I can see it also being a plus to where if you want to take this, put it in your back pocket. Very nice. Put this to the side for now. So inside, even with these filled with these little game cartridges, there's still plenty of room. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure the dock will fit in here, but this does seem to be Velcro based on the inside, so we're gonna try to stuff the dock in here, but I highly doubt it'll fit. But it's kind of nice how they give you the option to maybe even flatten it out a little bit. So now we have that nice skinnier package. Depending on if you want compartments or not. Definitely could see the actual cube for the Switch coming inside of here, as well as any cables that you may or may not want to add as well being in there. So let's go to the actual Switch compartment, which is probably the most important part. All right, so definitely some padding here. Not the thickest, but really can't complain. I would have liked to have seen a solid back, kind of like those North Face backpacks that have like a solid back. Would have been nice to include. Another little exterior bag case here. So if you don't care about something, go ahead, put it in this one because there's no way to actually seal this. But for the Switch itself, nice, soft, easily open. So let's go ahead, put everything in there and see how it all fits. Switch controllers. Not bad. Kind of would hope that 2 could fit in 1, which is, I think, might be possible, but probably best to just have 1 in 1. In the middle here, definitely enough space for you to include your block as well as the HDMI cable or your charging cable for that fact. So overall, I think it's a pretty good deal. Let me also throw these in there. Very nice. Well organized. So I feel like this is how most people would pack it out. Maybe y'all would want to include the power brick and the cable, but I don't think that should add too much more bulk to the front than is already there. So let's go ahead and take some new measurements just up the depth, see what it's like now. Definitely bulked up a little bit here. About 4 inches now with everything inside. You can squeeze it down to be 3. So very nice, compact. Something I think I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna like this. I plan to just chunk this in a backpack, call it a day, and keep it nice and secure. So recommend it. If I have any issues, I'll make sure to make another video about it. But for now, super excited about this case. Hope you guys have it in stock at a Target near you, and definitely worth the pickup. Thank y'all for watching.